Hey, good morning, Georgianna. As we get started this morning, I want us just to take a moment, just to invite everybody to just take a deep breath. Let's just start our day being calm, right? So that we can start our week being calm. I'm really excited. We start a new prophet today. We're going to be in the book of Jeremiah. And so let me just give you a little back history of Jeremiah. The devotion provides some, but let me just share some tidbits. So Jeremiah is the prophet to the southern kingdom. So in about 7 to 800 BCE, Israel split into two kingdoms, a northern kingdom known as Israel and a southern kingdom known as Judah, which made up the tribes of Benjamin and Judah. And so they split. And so during this period of time, there was some feuding factions between the two kingdoms. And of course, there were always empires trying to come in and conquer them. So what we need to keep in mind is Israel, the northern kingdom, had been defeated by the Assyrians 200 years earlier. So now the southern kingdom is under constant threat by the Babylonians and others who want to come in and take over them. So part of what I think that Jeremiah does, Jeremiah is a prophet, obviously, to the kingdom of Judah, but part of it is him saying, we just watched what happened to our brothers and sisters to the north, right? We just saw them be conquered. And part of the reason that they were conquered is they lost favor with God. And so we find ourselves as we enter the book of Jeremiah in what we now call his call prophecy or his call statement. And so in Jeremiah 1:5, it says this: before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations, right? So there's a couple of things happening here that I think are really, really cool. First of all, we know that this passage tells us that from the moment that we are conceived, God is aware of us. So long before we're born, God is aware of us. And if you go to the finish line, long after we die, if we're in relationship with Jesus Christ, God is also aware of us as we are in his presence. So we need to understand that right from the very beginning, that God is aware of us, right? We are his creation. And so with this concept of him knowing us in the womb, part of what I want us to take away this week is that God knows you right from the start. God doesn't get to know you later. God doesn't get to know the better part of you. God doesn't wait till you get all your stuff together for him to know you. God doesn't wait for you to be sin-free before he knows you. He knows you from the very beginning. And what he also knows about you is just what he proclaimed over Jeremiah, which is that he knows that there is a good work he has for you. He knows the good that lies in store for you. So here's how I would describe it. When I talk to teenagers or our sixth graders, I would describe it this way. God creates you and you're born into a family with tremendous amount of spiritual potential. And God constantly, through prevenient grace, is trying to come after you and get your attention and come into you. And then one day you hope that you recognize God's grace and love and repent and come unto him. And then you have that justifying grace. And then you are prepared at that time for works that God foresaw before you were born, right? So it's all this potential. And then we walk through life and we're distracted by temptation. We're distracted by the lures of this world. And we kind of get off the path from time to time in our journey with God. And so what happens in those moments is we just fall short of the potential that God had for us when he said, I looked into your life and I saw all that you could do, all the good things that you could do. So part of what God is telling Jeremiah is, I knew you right from the very beginning. I know who you are, and I have wired you for this job to be a prophet to the nation of Judah, to warn them about apostasy and drifting away, and to be living a life apart from me. So I want you to feel that this morning, no matter what you're going through in life, God created you, and he created you with purpose, and he created you because he loved you, and he has a plan for your life. And so I just invite you to keep your heart tied closely to him because he knows you better than you know yourself, and he believes in you. And so this morning, I hope that you begin the week knowing that God believes in you, and whatever he has set before you to do, he's already equipped you to do long before you were born. So church, I hope you have an amazing week. So many good things happening in the life of the church. We're super excited about youth camp, and that's getting ramped up and going. And we're thrilled about celebrating with our graduating seniors here in a few weeks. So just stay tuned with us as we celebrate these great things happening inside the kingdom. I love you, church. I'll see you next Monday.